The Ark, great building in Forge of Empires. Asking players which building is the most wanted, you mainly hear the Ark. This is a good reason to have a detailed look on that great building. The Ark produces goods of the player's current era for the guild's treasury, and it increases the owner's contribution rewards. Guilds with players owning buildings like the Ark, the Observatory or the Atomium usually can release level 4 of the guild expedition every week without asking to donate the required goods. Players with such buildings are very popular for guilds. The Observatory helps the guild only. The Atomium at least provides some happiness to the owner. The Ark instead provides huge advantages to its owner, resulting from its second bonus, increased contribution rewards. Those who help other players upgrading their great buildings can receive Forge Point packages into their inventory as contribution rewards. With an Ark level 1, this bonus is increased by 10%. This is nice, but absolutely no explanation why this great building is so popular. On level 10, the bonus is 31%. That already is an attractive level, but still exceeded by higher levels. The big goal of players with the Ark building is level 80, as it provides a 90% bonus. This means you receive 1.9 times the normal contribution bonus. Example given: being on top of the contributors list of an Alcatraz building reaching level 10, you will receive more than 160 Forge Points as a bonus instead of the normal 85. Now, many players might remark that I possibly might have lost every sense for reality. Level 80 of the Ark? This requires 189,021 Forge Points. Compared to the 24 Forge Points of the Town Hall, this requires 21.5 years. Even with more Forge Points from event buildings or other great buildings, it is still an unrealistic goal, isn't it? Indeed, the first player reaching level 80 with his Ark must have felt like that. But on older servers, there are many guilds having multiple players owning an Ark on level 80 or above. And this will make it very easy for new players to do the same. The upgrades up to level 10 are just normal. Starting with level 11, you need a complete set of blueprints for every new level. For the next 50 levels, there is a huge demand for Ark blueprints. Later, such a player receives more blueprints than he ever can use. During these upgrades, the best places in the contribution list are often given to players already owning an Ark level 80. They donate 1.9 times the contribution bonus without receiving anything in return, and this really fills a lot. The diagram shows that until level 10, the necessary number of own Forge Points is growing. Above level 10, it is shrinking again with each level. In a medium range, the Ark fills nearly automatically by contributors. If the guild has at least 3 players with an Ark level 80, they just pay 1.9 times the bonus for the top 3 positions, and the Ark can be upgraded nearly immediately. The owner only needs very few forge points to do that. In the region from level 30 to level 60, the arc nearly expands itself. Afterwards, the requested number of forge points grows again. This is the reason why players leveling their arc are focused on finding a guild already having several members with an arc level 80. Then level up is comparable simple and fast. It also makes sense to concentrate on this goal first, as upgrading all other great buildings is much faster then, thanks to the huge bonus. This procedure is a disadvantage for smaller players in such guilds, as they invest in forge point exchange chains, but never have the possibility to achieve a contributor bonus. These bonuses are given to the big players with the 1.9 advantage. Those who bring such a great building into a forge point trading chain cannibalize their smaller guild members. The advantage goes to the player with a fast-growing great building, not to the supporter with the 1.9 bonus, as he does not get many forge points on top, but medals and blueprints. Both are not very interesting for him, as at this point of the game he already has more than enough of both. The Ark is the only great building where I understand that a player wants to own it much earlier than in the future, when he can produce the required goods. A high-level Ark has a quick return of invest. To get the goods required for building the Ark as a player in a lower age, these can be traded via a trade chain. In return for these very expensive goods, the seller receives forge points. You see a typical trade chain as an example. First, any 100 goods from the Bronze Age are traded for 200 biogeochemical data. Afterwards, these are traded for 400 superconductors. These 400 superconductors then are traded for 800 purified water. Some of that water is traded for biochemical data. Some of the biochemical data is traded for algae. Some of these are traded for superconductors. And finally, some of these are traded for nanoparticles. When these individual trade steps are completed one after another, the buyer has all goods required for building the Ark. Now, the set of blueprints needs to be completed and then the great building can be started. But is this legal? Or is it against the rules to make such a trade goods for forge points? The support responds cautious. The game rules do not contain a paragraph which might forbid such a trade, but the rules emphasize that push accounts are not allowed. The algorithms implemented by InnoGames to reveal such push accounts might overlook the corresponding goods part of the trade and identify the buyer as a push account only created to donate forge points to another account. This would be forbidden, with the result that the buyer's account would be blocked permanently and the pushed great building would be deleted. But I cannot recognize such a risk with a single trade over a short time. The trade described above already has been done by many players before, and I never heard about a single case where the support flagged such a player. There is no reason to advise against such a trade pointing to the game rules. But you should be able to trust the seller. If he receives the forge points and then denies to deliver the goods, there is nothing a buyer could do. the support will not help in such a case. Therefore, I recommend to have such a trade with trusted players that you know well in your guild. And you need these players for upgrading your arc anyway, and eventually you will want to help other players in the future in the same way someone helped you. This is a way it will be a benefit for all players.